Hi, everyone. It's another beautiful weekend, and we are coming your way with another episode of the Steady Abroad podcast with me, the Fred Effect. Today, we are talking to a young lady who went through the process, and as we do it every week, hi, everyone. You're welcome to another episode of the Steady Abroad podcast with me, the Fred Effect. We do this every weekend on Sundays. We invite people who have been through the process to share their journey with you so that you would also advise yourself listening to their processes on how you can go about yours. Also, sometimes we talk to former visa officers to let you know the insider insights about going about your visa processes and all that. And over the week, in course of the month, we'll be talking to some admission officers. The other time we had admission officers from Carolina University in Winston-Salem on, and then the next person we'll be talking to will be from St. Cloud State University. So we'll be having admissions officer from St. Cloud State University. So later on in the show, I'll be inviting you to talk to my guest as well. She went through the process, so she's going to share her journey with us, and you have an opportunity to also ask her all the questions. How did she apply to these universities? Which university is she at the moment? And then how come she got a visa denial and still persisted to get her visa approved in order to achieve her dreams? How much did she spend on the process? How long did the entire process even take in the first place? So be sure to join us. Tell a friend to tell another friend that it's another weekend the Fred Effect is on, and it's the Steady Abroad podcast, which is aired this and every weekend. So do me a favor, let me know which country you're watching us from. What is the time at your end? If you have any questions, please type them in the chat, and I'll be asking my guest as well. So let's bring her on and let's get started. Hi, how you doing?
Hello, I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm good. So we've been planning this conversation for some time, and I'm glad we're able to pull it up.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
So for my viewers seeing your beautiful face for the first time, kindly introduce yourself and let's take it from there.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Abigail Doku, and I am the Study Abroad Diaries. Like I have that channel, and currently I'm a graduate research assistant at Virginia Tech, and yeah, I'm ready to answer all your questions. If you want to know more about me, I'm ready. Let's your question come. Yeah.
All right. So I'm sharing the Steady Abroad Diaries YouTube channel. So Abigail has a channel called the Steady Abroad Diaries. She shares her journey, how she went through the process, and how you can also do it. So Abigail, tell us about your YouTube channel.
Okay, so when I started right from the beginning, I knew I want to study abroad. So I started searching for information, how to apply to schools, and it was very stressful. So I ended up doing my undergrad at KNUST, and through that process, I was still looking at how I would be able to further my education abroad. I read a lot of things. It was difficult getting information and everything. So once I got the opportunity to get here, I was so excited and looking at how I struggled to get all the information I needed to make success. I decided to put everything together and make it known to everyone. I'm not gatekeeping. I want everybody to have all this information so that they would be able to apply to the schools that they want, and lack of information wouldn't be a hindrance to their success. If you back in 2018, 2019, if you search my email in every country school, you will find my email there. I remember one time I saw a school's program. I was like, yeah, I want to apply. And when I started entering my data and everything, they sent me a message, an email that you have already applied to this school.
Right. So that is it
Yeah.
about, the reason why Abigail started her YouTube channel. So the name of the channel is the Study Abroad Diaries. And if you go to YouTube, on all social media platforms, later on, we would explain how you could get in touch with Abigail at the moment. So Abigail, let's start from the beginning. Which university or institution did you attend back in your home country, and which country are you from in the first place?
Okay, I'm from Ghana. Ghana is in West Africa, and I know a lot of people will know Ghana. And I studied at Kwame Nkrumah University of Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, KNUST, which is in Kumasi. And I did sport and exercise science. Yeah.
Sports and exercise science. So you had a bachelor of science degree in sports and exercise science.
Yes.
Okay, so as at then, did you start immediately? You graduated from KNUST. How long did it take you for you to start the process?
Okay, so as I said earlier, I had the idea of coming to study abroad. So I was searching for information, and getting information was very difficult. So I was putting a bit down, all that I knew, I was putting them down. So right after graduation, I applied to a lot of schools. So right after graduation, like during my national service time, it was a year, and I put in a lot of application, but the hindrance was GRE requirement. Some schools were also requiring IELTS, and others were some notarization of my documents, and it was very hectic. Some also I went through to the last stage, but it didn't come out right. So it took me a year and a half to settle on focusing like on US schools only, without looking at other countries. And then when I focused on US school, it took me one semester, that's 3 months, to get admission and everything. And that was COVID time.
I see. So which other countries were you looking at? And you talk about the hindrances why those countries were not successful. Which other countries were you looking at apart from the United States?
Okay, so I looked at Norway. I had to notarize my document. I looked at Finland. Whilst I was applying, the tuition fee, it was no tuition fee, but you have to pay some educational expenses and stuff. It was a great deal, but they were requiring other English proficiency certificates. And within the time I found myself, I wasn't ready to write that exams because I've been taught in English. So
Right.
And then I look at Germany, I look at UK. I applied to Commonwealth about 3 times, but I get to final stage and they come up with some stories, I don't know, but it didn't end well. So I had a lot of admission from UK with a lot of scholarships, but it wasn't full funding. Then I looked at China.
Wow.
Yeah, I look at China. And one funny thing is I looked at schools in Jerusalem and Hebrew. I didn't know what was happening, but I saw some cool nutrition program in Jerusalem. And I was like, wait, no, this is the time I have to just pause and analyze the whole process again. So I applied
to which year did you graduate from KNUST?
2018.
And so which year did you start this whole thing?
So I started in 2018.
When you graduated from KNUST?
When I graduated from KNUST, I started the whole process. Like whilst I was in school, I was putting my document together. I knew the process because I've done a lot of research.
Right.
I used my 4 years in Care University to gather a lot of information.
Right.
Then once I graduated, I started the process. But I was applying to a lot of schools. Even South Korea, I did.
Why is it that you were not focused, on a specific country? Why were you, trying to apply to any other country you come across, including Jerusalem?
Jerusalem. So the interesting thing is I wanted a different environment. I wanted a different educational system,
Mm-hmm.
and I wanted full funding. Actually, I wanted full funding. I
Right.
didn't want a situation where I would have to pay something because I didn't have anything to pay.
Okay.
Even if they were asking me to pay $1,000 to come to school, I wasn't going to get $1,000.
Hmm.
So I wanted something as close to free as possible. And
That's interesting. So, were those universities you are applying to in different countries? The UK, the Jerusalem, Sweden, and all that. Were they, requiring you to pay application fees, and how were you affording them?
okay, so most schools were not requiring application fee.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to Finland or Switzerland and Sweden, I just have to pay for one application fee and apply to all the schools in one portal.
Oh,
So
okay.
that was very simple for me because if my NSS allowance comes, I'll just
Mhm.
put something down, go and pay. Then I'll apply to a lot of schools using that portal.
If you are
So
listening to us in another country, NSS means national service, the 1 year mandatory work that you do when you graduate from a higher institution in Ghana.
yes, so that was what I did. Like those countries, it was easy to apply
Mhm.
and it wasn't difficult. But the US schools, they were requiring for application fee, and I didn't know there was something called application fee waiver.
Yeah.
So application fee, some were requiring GRE. I was looking at these big schools and they were requiring a lot of things. So I was
Okay.
like,
So
mm,
starting from 2018 that you started, when
mm-hmm,
did you finally get to the US? So that was the first country that was successful for you to go through.
mm-hmm.
And when did you finally get to the US?
Okay, so actually, I got my full funding in 2020,
Mm-hmm.
but because the borders were closed, I wasn't able to come,
Okay.
and the department had to waive it. So I defer my program, and they have to move it to the next year.
Mm-hmm.
And all that was praying for during COVID was they should just open the borders.
Okay.
Yeah, so I got here in 2021. Yeah.
I see. All right. So, if you're just tuning in, I'm speaking with Abigail. Abigail is currently pursuing a PhD program at Virginia Tech University in Virginia. The city is Blacksburg, right?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
Blacksburg.
So, tell us the university you originally came into in the United States. So, I know you came to pursue a master's, and what program did you get into?
So yeah, I got into Central Michigan University's Master of Science in Exercise Physiology program,
Okay.
and I got here in August 2021. And the program is very cool. They have
Mhm.
full funding, and the GA covered everything. So I was awarded GA graduate assistantship, and it covered everything. So that was my journey in Central Michigan
I'm
University.
I'm doing I'm doing a series where I tell people that it's not compulsory that the fact that you study, let's say, a bachelor's degree in sociology means that you should pursue only a master's degree in sociology. So you said you had a bachelor's degree in exercise science,
Mm-hmm.
and then you came to study kinesiology. So tell us, what are some of the other related programs that if somebody is studying us now and is watching us now and having a background in exercise science, what are some of the programs they can look at?
Okay, so I did sports and exercise science. So it is two programs together. So we
Okay.
can choose the sports science, sports medicine, sports something. And then exercise science, so sport and exercise science. So the exercise science, you can do kinesiology, you can do
Mhm.
exercise physiology, you can do athletic training, you can do physical therapy, you can do
Mhm.
physiotherapy. But most of the time, what we see here is physical therapy. You can do sports management, like there are lots. You can do
Okay.
neuromuscular physiology program. You can do a lot of things. And then even the sports and exercise, we have the physiology parts where you
Mhm.
can study a full human being or a full organism. And then we have the molecular aspect, so you can do molecular, like you do a lot of things like the biochemist or molecular biologist. So
Wow.
that aspect. And once you did maybe sport and exercise science or exercise physiology, they go into a lot of categories, like you can do exercise and oncology, that's cancer science and exercise. You can do cardiovascular, any non-communicable diseases related program, you can do that. And the most important thing is, if you have a science background and you have how do you call it, a bachelor's degree, it
Mhm.
is your interest and how you write your statement of purpose that would let the people know, the admission or the program know you fit into the program. Some
Right.
schools, some programs will just allow open background for people with diverse background to come in, and then with that they will be able to train you. So first you reach out to the school, and then like you reach out to a faculty whose research is of interest, and
Right.
then you share your background with the person. Afterwards there would be a communication, and you would know whether you are fit for the program or not.
All right. So if you're just tuning in, I'm speaking with Abigail. Abigail has a YouTube channel called the Study Abroad Diaries. Please go to YouTube and search for the Study Abroad Diaries and then subscribe. She shares her journey and how you can also go through the process as well. Abigail studied a Bachelor of Science in Exercise, a Bachelor of Science in K University, exercise.
Sports and exercise
Sports
science.
and exercise science. Thank
Mhm.
you. And she got into a full scholarship in Central Michigan University. Central Michigan University is located at where?
Mount Pleasant, Michigan.
In Michigan. Yeah, and
Yeah.
then she did a full scholarship, a Master of Science in Kinesiology. She's now pursuing a PhD at Virginia Tech University in Blacksburg, Virginia. So let's talk about you applying to Central. Now, if you are listening to us, and every time we do a session, we mention some universities that people have been able to make it there, which means that you can also do it. So you applied to Central Michigan and then you got in. But what other universities did you apply to?
Okay, so apart from even Central Michigan University, I have some videos on them in Virginia Tech. So
Right.
apart from Central Michigan University, I applied to Purdue University, Penn State University. I also looked at Western Illinois University, which I got admitted into, and then Northern Michigan University. Yeah,
Yeah, I want to be typing the name of the university so people can follow. So you mentioned Purdue University,
Purdue
um,
University,
Penn State University,
Penn State University.
and then you mentioned you said Northern Illinois.
No, Northern Michigan University,
Okay.
NMU, and then Western Illinois University.
All right. So yeah, if you're watching us, these are some of the programs Abigail applied to. And I don't think these universities only have programs in exercise science, right? Or kinesiology. They are other
Mhm.
related programs. So if you don't know about these universities, we are mentioning them, letting you know that these are some of the universities you can also apply to. So going forward, was your scholarship automatic, or did you have to submit a separate application before you were considered for it?
Okay, so my scholarship was not automatic. I had to apply separately. They sent a form, so I indicated my interest in the scholarship with the graduate assistant coordinator and the director of the program. I indicated my interest, and on the application form too, I also indicated my interest. So once they received everything, they sent me the link to fill the graduate assistantship forms, and I didn't go for any interview. they review everything and then go back to me. Yeah.
So that means that you got admission before the scholarship award came in, or it came together with the admission.
It came together with the admission. So once the admission came, they said I've been offered graduate assistantship and I should wait for the department to send me an email.
Right. So we are talking to Abigail. Abigail is currently studying at Virginia Tech. If you are just tuning in, you're welcome. This is the biggest study abroad content platform. My name is Fred. Behind this platform, and it's called the Fred Effect. We are live on X or Twitter. It's the Fred Effect. We are live on Instagram, the Fred Effect. If you're watching us, thank you for tuning in, and thank you for being part of the biggest study abroad content platform. We are also live on Facebook. It's the Fred Effect. Tell a brother to tell a friend to tell a friend that if you want to study abroad, this is the platform you have to follow, subscribe, and also share as well. We share a lot of insightful content. We bring people who have been through the process to share the experience with you so that you can also know how to go about it. You don't have to necessarily make the mistakes we made when going through the process. All right, so going on, let's talk about any other exams. Did you sit for GRE? Did you sit for GMAT, TOEFL, IELTS? Tell us about that.
Yeah, for going to this question, I'd like to hint a bit about what you just said. So we don't want you to make the mistake we made, because if you are going through the path that we went, like researching for information and everything, it is going to take you a very long time to get to where you want to go. That's why we are here to summarize everything for you. Okay. Now, talking about the exams, one, I didn't write any exams. I did not write any exams. So no GRE, no IELTS, no TOEFL, nothing. But what I had was I went for my school's English proficiency certificate. So I got it from my English department, KNUST. You can get it from the English department. So that's what I got. But I didn't even use it for my current school, like Central Michigan University. I didn't use it. And then my current school, Virginia Tech, I didn't use it.
Right. So the fact that you're from Ghana, no, those IELTS or TOEFL were not needed. So knowing what you know now, would you have sat for any of those exams?
I don't think I'll do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And talking about evaluation of transcript, what is your take on that? Did you have to go through that? Does Central Michigan or Virginia Tech require people to evaluate their transcript?
Central Michigan does not require people to evaluate their transcript, same as Virginia Tech. The only school that asked me to evaluate my transcript is Western Illinois University. Okay. I did that. I got admission, I got funding and everything, but I went to Central Michigan University. So that is what I did. But it wasn't bad, because I would be able to use it for something else in the future, which might not be related to academics and might not be related to job search, but something else. Yeah. But I did that.
Awesome. So when we talk about the full scholarship, in your case, things differ from state to state and university to university. And it's good that you have gotten an experience in two different states, Michigan, Virginia, and these two different institutions. Let's talk about the full funding. And it's good that you're enjoying full scholarship in your current university as well as your previous university. But what are you currently studying?
So my program of study is translational biology, medicine, and health. It's a long name, but let's say TBMH for short. Okay.
No, take your time and tell us that. Maybe somebody will be interested. And this is the PhD program, which is funded at Virginia Tech, right?
This is a PhD program.
Your bachelor's is in sports and exercise science from KNUST. Now, Central Michigan is a master's degree in kinesiology.
Yes. And with specialty in exercise physiology. Yeah.
Okay. And then a PhD in
translational biology, medicine, and health.
Wow. Yeah. That's a long name.
So this program, I have a video on it. I think that's my last video. I have a video on it on YouTube. So this program is by 5 departments. Okay.
Actually, go ahead.
Yes, so this program is by almost more than 5 departments coming together to form the program, and basically it's like from the from the bench, that's from the lab, from pipetting and everything to the bedside. So
I
you
see.
discover the molecule, the medicine, and everything in the lab and to the website, to the bedside. So everything in between, we do it. So we have some neuroscience in the program. We have cardiovascular and metabolic science in the same program. We have public health and implementation system in the same program. So like if you're from any background, yes, you can come into this program.
I
It
see.
has wide spectrum.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when coming back to my question, when
Mm-hmm.
we say full funding,
Mm-hmm.
back in Central Michigan, what was it covering? Like, did
Yeah.
it pay for your flight ticket? Did you pay for
Mm-hmm.
your accommodation? What was the full scholarship covering?
Okay, so a full scholarship, we have funding and we have scholarship. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so scholarship is something paid once or maybe once a year. They pay everything into your account or into the school's account. But funding is like, example of funding is graduate assistantship. So you are providing a certain service to the school and they are paying for your tuition and giving you stipend. It could
Right.
come bi-weekly or it could come monthly.
Mm-hmm.
So the stipend is for your upkeep. And some schools, it covers your insurance and everything. But in my state, in Virginia, Central Michigan University didn't cover my insurance. So my stipend was what I used some of my stipend, not all of my stipend, some to pay my insurance, but it covered my whole tuition, my student fee and everything. The only thing I had to pay was my insurance.
Okay. Can you compare that, master's degree funding or scholarship to a PhD level? Like, what's the difference? And especially moving into a different school. How
Yeah.
were you paid monthly or bi-weekly at Central Michigan?
So Central Michigan was paid bi-weekly, and here
Okay.
too I'm also paid bi-weekly.
Okay. And what's
Yes.
the difference? Some monies are bigger than others, right? Tell us about that.
Definitely, PhD comes with a lot. So
Right.
definitely, some schools will pay a lot in PhD compared to the masters. Okay, and here, since it's a PhD, or I don't know for other schools, but since it is a PhD, they pay 90% of my insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, 90% of my insurance is paid. So the only thing I have to pay in my current school is to pay 10% of my insurance. And definitely PhD will have a better funding than masters, because some schools or some people consider PhD as a first job.
Right.
Yes, but the salary is not, it's something that will keep you going. You wouldn't lack anything. You'll be
Right.
fine and comfortable and you would study. And also this typing things is different between states. Some states are high, have high cost of living or high standard of living.
Mm-hmm.
So they might pay a much bigger or better, but because of the cost of living there, and some states could pay so they just make sure you are fine
Right.
with your expenses.
If
Yeah.
you're willing to share, so if some back in Ghana, were you working?
So back in Ghana, I was teaching and research assistant, and then I did some missionary work for 1 week, 1 year. I was a campus missionary for 1 year, and then I went to work with National Sports Authority at Greater Accra Sports Stadium. I was working there as a sports development officer.
So
Yeah.
I know some students in Virginia Tech are paid like 1,200 monthly, or is it bi-weekly?
Bi-weekly.
Bi-weekly. Okay, so some PhD students take 1,200 bi-weekly in Virginia Tech. I have to start coming there. Okay. All right. So I've seen some scholarships and all that. I see. So when it comes to Michigan, because of how the cost of living is, obviously it will be a bit lower compared to Virginia, right? All right. So if you're just tuning in, you're not late. You're still here with me, the Fred Effect. I'm talking to Abigail. Abigail schooled in Central Michigan, of course, from K University to Central Michigan, and now to Virginia Tech University. What's the full name of Virginia Tech?
So Virginia Technical University, Virginia Technical and State University. Yes.
Okay, all right. It has a long name. It's located in Blacksburg. I think I've made a video about that. You can search Virginia Tech. Maybe you may be interested in any of the programs they offer. Email the director of the program over there. I think it's very accommodating to most international students as well. All right, moving on. Let's talk about what has been your best experience so far as an international student.
As an international student, my best experience is being able to see other places, meet new people with different background, different culture and everything. So that has been one of my nice experience here. Yeah.
All right. So knowing what you know now, right?
Mhm.
Talking about applying to a lot of schools and all that, what would you have done differently if you were supposed to start the whole process again? So if you were supposed to talk to your younger self, younger Abigail, what would you have done differently?
Okay, so the first thing I would have done is to get a YouTube channel like that of Fred's and then get good information from there because it seems everything is consolidated there, and I will focus because if I spread myself thin, it becomes very difficult to make good progress. So I'll focus. If I'm going to look at US universities, that's what I'm going to put all my energy into it. And I would follow the path of those who have made it. So if they ask me to contact graduate coordinators before applying, I will contact them, establish that rapport. And then if they ask me to make sure my statement of purpose is good, I will do that. I will not be lazy and I would focus on one school, follow the path which is known to work. That's what I would do because I can't be beating about the bush. And I will not be shy to reach out for help. And once I'm reaching out for help, I'll not be entitled. Because in my case, I didn't have anywhere to reach out for help. I have to look for everything. So I'll reach out for help and I'll not be entitled or expect that there's this, I don't know how to put it, but some people think that as we are telling them this school, that school, they think we work with the school. Okay.
Yeah.
We don't work with the school. Disclaimer, we don't work with the school. We've done a lot of research and we found that this school is doing this course. So we don't work with the school and we are not giving admissions. We don't process scholarship. Let me put it that way. We are just giving you information which is going to make your journey smooth and easy. We don't give scholarship. We don't know anybody in the school that gives scholarship. We are just giving you information so you process it well. That is it.
All right. So I know that after your master's, you probably might. A lot of people think that once I'm done with, maybe I came in for a bachelor's degree, I came in for a master's degree. Did you necessarily have to go back home, or how was it?
Okay, so you don't have to go back home. There is something called CPT, OPT. So CPT is when you're in school. OPT is when you are done. So you can do OPT for 1 year if you are in non-STEM program, and you can do OPT for 3 years if you're a STEM program. So you don't have to go back directly after your school. Even the F1 visa has dual intentions. At first, it was solely intention. Right after my program, I'm going to run back to my country to all those ones. But now there is a law that F1 can have dual intention.
Yeah.
So you can do CPT, you can do OPT, and you find your way out there.
Awesome. You're still live here on the Fred Effect YouTube channel. We are live on TikTok. We are also live on Facebook. We are live on X, Twitter, and then of course we are live on YouTube as well, and Instagram too. The best way or the easiest way to get in touch with me, it's via Instagram. And if you need help, why not? We'll be happy to assist you. I want to talk about your visa processes, because you were at the embassy twice. And for somebody listening to us now who has probably been there once or twice, it didn't go as expected. For as an experience as you are, why do you think that when people go for visa interview, they get refused?
Okay. A lot goes on in this visa interview, visa process. Some attribute it to lack, some attribute it to a lot of things.
Mhm.
But I believe God is good. And if you prepare yourself, He'll be merciful unto you.
Yeah.
But apart from that, we have to do our part. So, one, you should be prepared for your interview.
Mhm.
If you are going for a visa interview, read about the visa. What visa are you going for? F1. What is the requirement for F1 visa? Read about it. If you have that knowledge, you would be able to, you'll be confident and you would know what you are talking about and you wouldn't be nervous. Nobody gets less nervous with your visa interview, but at least if you are knowledgeable of what you are required of or what is expected of you, you would be comfortable enough to give results. So one, you read about the visa you are going to apply, be knowledgeable. What are they looking for? What are the points that they are going to score you on? What is the requirement? What are the regulations concerning this visa? Once you know this visa, this question, you look at questions asked at this interview. There are a lot of places you can search. Fred has been doing mock interview. If you even go there to listen, you would know a lot of questions that they might ask you. Mind you, the visa interview is like maximum of 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So when you are prepared, you wouldn't be shy, you wouldn't be shivering or nervous or anxious, and you wouldn't be giving vibe or negative vibes. Because if you are giving negative vibe, it is interpreted as you are doing something wrong, you are hiding something, or you are coming to lie to us.
Right.
So that is like why some people find themselves wanting.
So you went on the first attempt, it didn't go as expected. What did you do different? And if somebody is listening to us and has been in the same shoes, what do you think the person should do differently? Did you change your school? Did anything change about your profile? What did you do on the second attempt?
Okay, so let me give you the timing. My first visa was denied in January. It was 4th January. And my second visa was approved in July.
Wow.
Yes. So I was thinking they will not even grant me emergency visa because that time we were searching for visa, like the slots. So I was thinking they are not going to give me emergency slots, but they gave me emergency slots. And once I got it, I was like, okay, I'm leaving the past behind me. What do I need to do differently? Because when I had the rejection, I don't know how I got home, but when I realized I was home and I was sad, I
Yeah.
don't know how I got home. Like, well, and I was like, isn't it just now they told me they've refused my visa? How come I go home here? It's about 1 hour drive from that place to my home. And I don't know how I go home. So I researched why they would deny that visa. And I realized I wasn't prepared enough for the interview. I didn't read a lot about the visa. I was not as knowledgeable as so I didn't know. I was just doing a lot of wrong things. So I read about why they reject and how they can approve after that. And I realized that one, I need to make sure something has changed. My situation has changed, my circumstance has changed, and how I'm going to present this information to them. So looking at how I the three components to change situation is your school or your funding or your ties to your country. These are the three things possibly you can change. So one, interestingly, my school was changed. So when I went for the interview, after all the questions that they asked me, the man was you see, the man was, you've been here before. That was how he was. He was like, you've been here before. I didn't deny it. I said, yes, I was here in January. And he said, and your visa was denied. So what has changed?
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, so you change your, I was about speaking and he was like, so you change your course. And I was like, no, like I knew the man wanted to give me the visa because he was just you change your course. So he wanted me to say things that like all the things that I can say. So he
Right.
said, you change your course. And I said, no, I didn't change my course. My school changed. So it was the same course, the same thing, but my school changed.
Oh,
And
I
he
see.
was like, what happened? Then I told him, oh, this school gives me opportunity to do research and coursework. The other school was not giving me that opportunity. And this school also allows me to do more research, as well as they gave me a better funding offer. And it was like, okay, I'm approving your visa. I picked my passport. I was like, okay.
Well, I see. So that would have been a huge excitement. But the point
Mhm.
is that how were you able to pick yourself up? All the stress, the amount of money involved, the time, the emotions invested. When people go for the first attempt, it doesn't go well. What encouraging words do you have for such an individual, and you going through that process and overcoming it? What did you do? Like, how were you able to pick yourself up and say that I will try again?
Okay, so when I got home that day, I was very sad. I couldn't speak to anyone. I just
Mm,
went to my room, looked into the mirror. I looked at myself in the mirror quietly for some time, and I told myself that this is not the end. You've been doing this for a long time and you are close, and this bounce came. So just don't rest. It means that success is very near. So don't rest now. Success is near. That's why there's strong resistance. Don't rest now. So even though I was sad, I would say I suppressed all the sadness, which I don't know whether it is good or whether it's bad for everybody's mental health. But I suppressed all this and I looked at what is ahead of me. If I'm able to get everything I want, I'll get the education that I want. I'll
right,
get all the knowledge I want and get to where I want to be. So this is just like running and stepping on a stone or a needle. So I'll just look ahead of me. So being able to look ahead of you is going to help you and pick yourself up. So something happened because I think you didn't do something well. Like
right.
the process, there was a cut in the process. So
Hmm.
if you're able to put the cut together, you will get there. Maybe you didn't talk about your financing well, and you didn't know that that is a major point that they are using. Maybe this time around, your situation didn't change. Your school is the same, your program is the same, your
Right.
funding is the same, and you are going again. So, what will change? Your mindset.
I
Yes,
love that. I love that. Your mindset should change. And
yes,
I always, I mean, you were on the Fred Effect mock platform, so like I always preach positivity. And if you're listening and you want to be on the platform, it's been there for like what, almost 5 6 years. The Fred
I
Effect,
yeah,
WhatsApp group
I
has existed
yes,
for like
yeah.
5 6 years. So what we do is that when people get into interview scheduled, we help them every single day. There's a mock interview that we prepare you before you go for the interview. And I'm glad that Abigail was on that platform, and it helped as well. So you said that in the first attempt and the second attempt it was the same institution, or you changed the institution?
My institution changed.
Okay,
All the
so
institution I had full funding, but my institution changed.
the initial one was what school?
Western Illinois University.
Oh, okay, in Macomb, Illinois.
Yes, Malcolm.
Yeah, shout outs to Prince. Prince is in Macomb, Illinois,
Oh,
Western
that's
Illinois University. So Western Illinois also gave you exercise science and kinesiology. Was it the same program?
yes, it was the same program, and then it was full funding. Yeah.
Okay, and did you have like the Central Michigan funding versus the Western Illinois funding at the same time, and you decided to go to Western Illinois?
So what happened was
Yeah.
the Central Michigan University came first,
Mm-hmm.
but they said, oh, because of the COVID, they wouldn't be like, because the borders are closed, they are not sure if I would be able to come that year. So what
Right.
they did was they are going to hold it for me till the next year.
Oh, okay.
So the next year, like around December, Western Illinois came.
Oh, I see.
And I was like, okay, since I have Western Illinois, let me use Western Illinois.
Oh, okay, okay. So that's what happened. And so when it didn't go as expected, and then the subsequent semester, Central
Mhm.
Michigan says we've given you the funding. You're like, okay, I've been there with Western Illinois, so let me use Central Michigan.
Yes.
So what would you say? Is it advisable for people to apply to only one institution? Maybe because of they don't have money to pay application fee, stuff like that. What do you think?
Okay, so when it comes to application, I would say it's the bell curve or normal distribution where with your histogram you have some parts being very small. So
Mm-hmm.
let's say those small are the prime universities, and then the
Right.
middle one, and then the less one there. So try your best to apply to universities across this curve or across this spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
Don't apply to one university. Some will just apply to one university. They'll get visa and everything, simple as that. But I would say don't apply to one university. Apply to more so that you have options. These prime universities, they have opportunities to waive, how do you call it, application fee.
Right.
So when you're applying to Harvard, for when I was looking at Harvard, they were willing to waive application fee for me. When I was looking at MIT, they
Mm-hmm.
were willing to waive um, application fee for me. And then the middle schools too, some organize programs that when you attend, it's virtual. So when you
Right.
attend, you would be able to get code and stuff. So please apply to as much universities as you can because you have more option. And if one is not going to be favorable to you, you can quickly change. So imagine I had only one school, which was the Western Illinois University and or Central Michigan University, and I went for the interview and this comes up. I would have to stress myself to find out how I'm going to go from there. But since I had options, I was able to choose, and I don't regret my decision, even though I don't know what Western Illinois would have offered me, but
Right.
I don't regret my decision.
All right. So if you're still here, you're tuning into the Fred Effect Study Abroad podcast with me, the Fred Effect. So we are live on X, we are live on Instagram, Twitter. If you're listening to us, we have close to a thousand people watching us live at the moment, and we appreciate it. We do this and every weekend. The idea is to inspire, to motivate, to educate, and also to inform you, give you a lot of information on how to go about the process. So I have been through the process. I've had opportunity to assist thousands of people in diverse ways to go through. And, I bring on individuals who have also gotten similar experiences to share their journey with you so that you can learn from it. What schools did they apply to? And I'm going to ask you, how much do you think the entire process cost you?
Okay, so starting from the beginning, Central Michigan, they don't waive application fees. So I had to pay
Okay.
application fee. So
Right.
one thing you should know, like some of these schools try to reduce the number of people who apply to make decisions easy for
Mhm.
them. So I paid application fee, which was around $30. And then when I got admission funding and everything, I paid the visa fee, which was I think $950 at the time. Yeah, at Stanbic, is it Stanbic Bank or so? Nine
Yeah.
fifty. So making
It's GT Bank, you forgotten.
yeah, I don't know why I call that bank Stanbic Bank.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I paid that 950, and then taking taking a picture, I would say $5 or $10 for the passport
Okay.
picture, and service fee was 350. So doing the math, where do we find ourselves?
So, like, you spend close to like $1,000 on the process. Would
I
it be
think
up
more
to?
than $1,000 because the 950 was the visa fee,
Yeah.
service fee, and everything. So close to 1,003 or 1,000. Let's say 1,005 a cut, 1,005, where you
Right.
can get some miscellaneous for transportation and stuff. So 1,005.
So looking back, going through a first master's degree that has come with its own challenges on a full scholarship. Now the opportunity to meet a lot of people and also pursue your PhD. If you look at graduating from 2018, going through this process, COVID came in, and you were still able to make it through. Has it been worth it?
Oh yeah, I would say looking at the exposure, looking at the knowledge I have, like the transformation I've been through right now, I would say it is worth it.
Right.
It is worth it. Even apart from education, improving my skills, broadening my knowledge and stuff, coming outside to see how system runs, coming outside to see people, like meet people, have like interact with them to know how rich their mindsets are and everything. It is worth it. It is worth it. Like I always advise people, if you have the opportunity to travel and get the experience. And if you don't want to stay there, you go back to your country, but you're not going as the same person who came here.
I love that. I love that. Can you repeat that? I love that.
So I always tell people that if you have the opportunity to travel, go and have the experience.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't like the place, you can go back to wherever you came from. But the issue is you are not leaving the place the same way as you came. You've
Awesome.
come to improve. So when you go back, if it is business you want to do, you have a different idea or approach to how you do that business compared to if you have not traveled.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. I love that. Do you miss home?
Oh yeah, I miss home.
But have you ever been home since you came?
No.
Right.
I'm planning to see when I can go home. Yeah.
What was difficult to adapt? Is it the weather? I know Michigan is closer to Canada, so very cold. So, what was difficult to adapt? Is it the food? The weather? The accent? Do you have an American accent? Yes.
So let me share this funny story. The first day of school,
Right.
when I went to class, like a whole 2 hours lecture, and the only thing I heard was they asking me to tell them about myself and where I'm coming from. That was the only thing I heard throughout the class.
You didn't get anything else.
Yeah, anything. And after the whole class and everything, we were given assignments. So I had to go back and then listen to the lecture because it was hybrid, so I can have a recording of the lecture. So
Right.
it's synchronous. So I had a recording of the lecture available as a Pinacto on the website. So I had to go and listen to the lecture and everything. And I was like, this is so simple. Like all these things they are saying, they've taught me already.
But because of the accent, you didn't hear
Also
anything.
the accent and how fast they were speaking. And one mistake I did, was I was very shy. I couldn't
Yeah.
ask them to slow down. So they were talking because I was the only black in my class.
Yeah.
So everybody was fine. And I was very shy. I couldn't say, please slow down. And it was a mess. But when I went the next day to class and they were asking us like a review of what we did, because they wanted to be sure we are okay before we move on to the next topic, because it was a build on topic. And they were there quiet. It was like they've forgotten everything they were taught. And that was where my confidence started coming. I was like, okay. Now I know. So like it's the accent. And sometimes when I talk, I
Yeah.
have to say it about 2,000 times. And they'll say it after me. So when I say my name is Abigail, they'll say Abigail. And I was like, and now I'm like, in my head, I'll be like, that is what I just said.
Yeah.
And they'll say, okay. Then when I say something, they'll say the same thing. And I'm like, is it that they can't hear me or what? So one day when I went to class, they were asking questions. They didn't know the answers. So I decided to answer the question. And they were all attentive. And when I said everything to the end, they didn't say what I said after me. They understood it and everything. I was like, okay. Now
I see. All right, so we're still live here. Later on in the program, I'll be sharing the link so you could join us and ask Abigail all your questions. Have you started a process? Where are you in the study abroad process? In the comment section, you can also type what program did you study? Do you have an HND? Do you have a high school qualification or a bachelor's degree? What program did you study? And then we'll give you some suggestions of some programs that you can also look at. Abigail, let's look at some comments that are coming in for you. People are really enjoying the conversation. So Asamoah is watching us on Facebook. Shout out to you, Asamoah Patrick, and he's saying great program. And then Charity TV is also watching us from Ghana. Thank you for tuning in, Charity. Let's see. Okay, Aaron. Shout out to Aaron. Aaron has a YouTube channel called Aaron Inspires. He's also doing great. Aaron is at University of Texas at Tyler. I hope I'm correct. Aaron, correct me if I'm correct. I'm wrong. So I also type in the name of the universities that Abigail mentioned in the comments, so you can check that out. All right. So somebody was asking from X or Twitter. Richie Spine said, "Please, what do you study?" Abigail. Abigail has already mentioned that. Well, Abigail, maybe because it's long, people did not understand. Can you repeat it?
So the program is translational biology, medicine, and health.
Right. Abena is watching us from Ghana, and then Akin Kumi, I hope I got it correct, is watching us from Nigeria. He's also telling us the time. And somebody's saying, I've been at the embassy 3 times. Do you have an advice for such a person?
Yeah, so one thing, when you go to the embassy, please remain calm until your interview is over. No matter what happens, if people are screaming, people are walking about, pacing up and down, please remain calm and collected. And even before you go, please do your research. One, find out what has been going wrong, because the same paper they will give you, that is what it is. It has nothing much on it. So look at it and find out what is wrong with your application. Read about the visa you're applying for. And when you go to the interview, remain calm and collected throughout. Yeah. Fred, it seems you are muted.
Okay. So Mohammed is watching us on Facebook. Mohammed, which country are you watching us from? Let us know. So he said, Mr. Fred, the lady is knowledgeable and I like her words. I have applied to Southern Utah University and I'm in the process. Awesome. We wish you all the best, bro. Watching from Kumasi, very insightful content. I'm very excited. Thank you for Fresh Boy Pakatwesi. Hey, well, plenty name like that. Fresh Boy Pakatwesi Eugene. Eugene, shout outs to you. All right. Okay. So somebody's talking about the WhatsApp group. Yeah. So what happens is that the WhatsApp group is for individuals who have their visa interview scheduled. So you just have to send me a message on Instagram, and then you'll be added to it. We meet every day 4 a.m. Ghana time to prepare people for the interview, based on personal experience and also the ideas and information gained helping a lot of people over the years. So Abigail, I'm going to invite people on, and then they can ask you questions as well. But if there is somebody going through the process just like you were doing, applying to several schools, several countries, would you advise them to settle on the US, or what other country would you advise them to settle on?
Okay, so what do you want? If you know what you want, you know where you want to go. Okay, if you want to come to the US, please focus on the US. So find out what you really want, because the US educational system is different from that of Finland, that of Sweden, Switzerland, and other countries. So settle on what you really want. And when you look for what you want, you get the country you want. But I would say getting funding in USA, it's not as tedious as other countries, looking at the application requirements and process. So stay focused and put all energy in that country of interest. Yeah.
All right, stay focused and focus on that country of interest. Let's talk about any what has been your worst experience since you started your study abroad process. And I wanted to find out like what are the major. I'll come back to that question. What are the major differences? You schooled in K University, which is one of the best universities in Africa, for 4 years, and now you've been through an educational system, 2 years in Central Michigan, almost 4 years, right? What are the differences?
Okay, so the educational system has a lot of differences, like the Ghana one and then the US one, like KNUST, Central Michigan. They all have different structure and different experiences. And I would say KNUST gave me the basis that I need. So when
Right.
I talk, I know I have the knowledge of what I'm talking about. And then Central Michigan University gave me the hands-on practice, like more of practicing what I know already. So practical based learning, and some theory, like the percentage of theory in K University is higher than the practical aspect. But here in Central Michigan, I had a lot of practical aspect to do, and then a lot of research, hands-on research to do here. Yeah.
Great. If you are tuning in right now, remember that you're not late. Later on this session and every other session we have on the Fred Effect platform will still be live on X. It will be live on Instagram. It would also be live on Facebook and on YouTube. So you can go and rewatch them. She mentioned a lot of universities, has given a lot of tips and just you can also watch and then learn from. So if you are joining us now, you're not late. There's still a lot of information that you can get from this session. So I'm sharing the link on the various social media platforms. Just click on it, join us, and then talk to Abigail live. And Abigail, how do people get in touch with you?
Okay, so I am on all the social media platform as the Study Abroad Diaries, and then on X, yeah, I'm still there as the Study Abroad Diaries, and or you can search at Abigail Doku 1. But apart from that, everywhere is Study Abroad Diaries, and you can email me as well at the Study Abroad Diaries at gmail.com. So all the social media platform, you can go there and then get in touch. Yeah.
All right, so you can get in touch. I know a lot of people will be coming to your DM. Do you have some special assistance you give to people who are working on the process since you have a YouTube channel and all that? So do you assist individuals who would need help from you?
Yes, I assist individuals. I give out templates. So if you're writing your SOP, I'll give you the template to look at, and then I point you to the right resources. I point you to the right people to help you out when it comes to how do you call it, application fee, application, school search, and everything. So I help individuals, but please, I don't give scholarship and funding. I give information to help you make the process smooth. Okay. Yeah.
All right, so Abigail is making that clear so that you don't worry her with a lot of, stuff like that. Anyway, so when you're applying for the PhD, was it only Virginia Tech you applied to, or are there some other schools that since you applied to them, you can mention for other people to know as well?
Yeah, so looking at the PhD, I looked at University of Virginia, UVA. I looked at Michigan, University of Michigan, that's UMich. I
Right.
looked at Harvard. I looked at MIT. So these are the schools and I looked at Emory. Emory is a
Okay.
private university, I think. Yeah, so because it was a private university, I decided to stay with the public land grant universities. Yes.
All right. Great. So you can join us. I'm sharing the link. So you can join us live. If you're watching us on X, there's a link I just shared that you can click on, and then you can join us live in the studio to interact with Abigail. So Alade is
So
on.
Fred, okay, so a quick one. So when it comes to PhD application, because
Right.
it is research based or you are going to work with specific faculty, it is advisable to reach out to the faculties first, because your PI can make you or make you in this PhD.
I
Then,
see.
yes, that's
Yeah.
very important.
Alado, your microphone is muted, so if you could unmute it, and if you, because we are live, if you could also put your camera on, I think that would be super helpful. But go ahead, Alade, talk to Abigail.
Hi Fred, hi Abigail. Good evening, good afternoon. I'm speaking from Nigeria. Thank you for the insightful session. I really appreciate it. So my question is, if I'm being asked by the visa officer to talk about myself, to tell them about myself, how do I go about it? And again, I've been to the embassy twice, in which I've been denied, but that was around 6 years ago. So now I'm planning on going. Okay, the earliest appointment date I could get right now is for September 17th, and my school resumes September 3rd. So I'm trying to do an expedited emergency request. So I'll get an earlier date around July or August. So what do you think I can do, and how do you think I can answer that question, especially? And about my finance, since I'll be supported by my dad and my uncle, how can I incorporate both of them into it, making them believe that I have enough finances? Thank you.
Okay, that's a good question, Alade. So once you're asked about yourself, you're talking about your background, educational background, because the purpose you are there is to prove that you are educated, you're a student, and you are prepared to take all the program you are going to do. So you talk about your educational background, and then you talk about your current, what you are doing currently, and then how the program you are going to do will help you achieve your future goal. Okay, and this shouldn't be very long. You should be precise and concise. Okay, that is about talking about yourself. And when it comes to your funding, if your funding is stated on your I-20, like your funding, you shouldn't beat about the bush. And if you are not asked about your funding, you don't talk about it until you're asked. And when you're asked, make it concise and don't beat about the bush. You talk about your father and the job he's doing, because they want to know if the person is able to pay without going bankrupt or not going to leave you stranded in the USA. So you talk about the person, oh, my dad is going to support me with this amount of money and the work he's doing. Okay. And then your uncle, the work he's doing, and be ready to answer questions about your uncle, the number of children he has, so that they'll be sure that, but wait until you're asked, so that they'll be sure that your uncle is not going to leave you stranded.
Okay. Thank you very
All right.
much.
All right,
Yeah.
thank you for joining. Let's talk to Millicent. Millicent, please unmute your microphone, and if you could put your video on, we'd appreciate it. So going forward, if you don't put your video, we may not be able to accept you. So Millicent, go ahead.
Please, permission. I don't want to put my video on. Can I still speak?
You are live already, so I think you can speak.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, so I wanted to ask this question. I was denied last year based on the session 214B, and this time around, I've changed my school, I've changed my program, and I've gotten funding. So is that going to be a problem? And how am I supposed to summarize that statement to them in a brief if I'm being asked why I change a program, why I change my school or something?
Okay, so Millicent, a quick one. How different is your program from the first one you used for the interview?
Okay, so the one that I was denied with was Masters in Communication Studies, and from New Mexico State University. I wasn't having funding, and my cost of attendance was $35,850. But now I've gained admission to Eastern Illinois University and Alba University at Montgomery. Alba University of Montgomery, I'm going to study Master of Public Administration, and I was awarded a merit scholarship that covers for tuition. And my
Okay,
deficit is 20,891. So I want to
so
use that school instead. So I don't know. I'm using my public administration and communication studies. It's like it's in line.
So yeah,
So
that's
when
what
I'm
I
being
really
asked,
want to understand. Yeah,
okay,
whether the programs are in line, and with what you've just told me, that's the reason. So you've changed your school. Like, what has changed? You've changed your school, and then you have funding, and then you're going to do public administration, which is in line with communication. So find out how the public administration ties with your background and the opportunity the public administration offers you over communication,
yes, please.
and put that in 2 sentences. You've just said everything, and you put that in 2 sentences and you're done. Are we okay? Okay.
All right, so I'm back. Let's see. Millicent, you're done with Millicent, right? Okay, so let me talk to Inusa. Inusa, salam alaikum.
Now, my question for you today is, why is it that you ask Muslims, how are you? I mean, when you ask them about any aspect of...
Hello, Inusa. Hello, Inusa. Okay, Inusa can't hear us. I think he's listening to something else. Patrick, please unmute your microphone and go ahead.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, Patrick, please go ahead, sir.
Good evening, Fred. Mr. Fred.
Good evening, sir. Please go on.
Yeah. Please, my own is a question. Yeah, I've gotten admission from St. John's University at New York, and then I was awarded with $2,000 scholarship, and then an approved loan of $53,400 from Empower. And two of my brothers are willing to sponsor me with $32,000. So in this case, like when they ask me, how are you finding your program? How do I respond to in such a question like this, that I have Empower loan, then my brothers too are willing to sponsor me, and then the $2,000 scholarship from the school.
Okay, so Patrick, does the Empower loan covers the deficit of the tuition and cost of living?
Yes, please.
Okay, so now with the school's scholarship and the Empower can cover everything, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you start by talking about the school giving you funding, which will be paid at this time. And do you have documents from Empower?
Yes, I have everything, yes.
Okay, and then you have secured an Empower loan of this amount of money, and this is how the payment plan is going to be after graduation.
Okay.
Okay, so you talk about that one, but make sure whatever you are going to talk about is in your DS-160. It should be consistent, and it should also be consistent with what you have on your I-20.
Okay.
Yeah. Then later on, like if the Empower and the school scholarship is going to take care of everything, then you don't need to talk about your brother or like your siblings.
Okay. But on the I-20, they blocked their name on the I-20, the F1, the I-20, yes, the I-20, their names are on it.
So you can request for a new I-20 if you are going with the Empower loan, because it's supposed to
okay. Initially, I didn't add the two of the Manda two sponsors. I used only the Empower and then the scholarship from the school. But I think the office I issued the I-20, I had a meeting with them, and they told me that at least I should make sure that like the money, like the tuition, 50% is coming from my home country.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I added the 2 sponsors.
Okay.
Yeah. They said so that they said that when maybe at the embassy, when they see that at least 50% of the money is coming from your home country, the denial rate will just come down or something like that. That was what they said. So if you just add like 2 sponsors.
Okay.
So
So if you have the names of your brothers on your I-20, it means that
yes.
that same name should be on your DS-160. There should be consistency. And
Yes.
when you are talking about your funding, you talk about the school's funding, you talk about your brother's funding, and then you talk about the second support you have from Empower. So you should be consistent. No, whatever happens, you should be consistent throughout, from your DS-160 to your F1, your I-20 to your interview. There should be consistency. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's talk to Dominic. Thank you for joining us, Patrick. Let's talk to Dominic. Dominic, can you please hear me? Your microphone is muted. Can you unmute it and then go ahead, sir?
Okay, good evening, good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Please
Mr. Fred,
talk.
I just want to ask, I have HND in accounting, and I want to know some of the related programs that I can target. I have a GPA of 3.6.
Okay.
You want me to respond to that, Abigail? Go ahead.
Freddie can respond to that.
Okay, so Dominic, your HND is a 3-year HND or a 2-year HND?
It's a 3-year HND.
Good. So if you have a 3-year, okay, you have a 3-year HND, you have 2 options. You can apply as a transfer or a top up for a bachelor's degree, just like if you wanted to go to any university in Ghana, you apply for a top up. So you can also apply for a bachelor's degree here in the US or any other institution. The second thing is that with a 3-year HND, you can straight away apply for a master's degree. However, to increase your chances of competing with people with 4-year transcript or 8-semester transcript, yours is a 6-semester transcript. If you want to apply for a master's degree, it will be important that you evaluate your transcript. But without the evaluation, you can still apply to some universities that will give you admission and scholarship for it. So if you are able to settle on whether you want to apply for a bachelor's as a transfer student or a master's going through the evaluation, then we can have a conversation from there.
Okay, then I would prefer to do the evaluation.
Awesome. So when you get the evaluation done, it increases your chances. Remember that you don't necessarily have to go through the evaluation, because there are some universities that even if you evaluate your transcript, they are not going to accept it. But looking at the fact that you have a 6-semester transcript, and most people who are going to apply for the masters would have a 4-year or 8-semester transcript, competing with them, even if you are the admission officer, you admit somebody with a 4-year. Is that not it? So evaluate the transcript, it gives you an upper hand. Then you can now talk about which programs to apply to. I appreciate you for joining us, bro. Akosia, is it Oyamichi? Am I getting it right? Please unmute your microphone and go ahead. Your microphone is muted.
Okay.
Go ahead. What do you say?
Yeah, please. I'm trying to make some inquiries about if you want to make an admission in nursing course with scholarship. Actually, I don't have O levels. My O levels, I don't have the qualification. But whilst I'm UK here, I just try to do it here. But due to my circumstances, my status, I can't speak everything on air because of my circumstances now. So I'm trying to relocate to US to get access to any nursing school with a scholarship. So I'm trying to find out if it's possible for you guys to help me to get access or to get any school who offers scholarship for either access to nursing, either in college or in the uni.
Oh, so which means you're in the US already?
No, she's in the UK.
In the UK. So you wanted to school in the UK or in the US?
She wants to school in the US, and I think she should book one-on-one with you, Fred, and then we can look at it later.
Yeah, sure. So that we can discuss the circumstances involved. Thank you for joining us, Akosia. Zaid, please unmute your microphone and go ahead, sir.
Hello, Mr. Fred. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Please.
Madam Abigail, good evening too.
Good evening.
Mr. Fred, through your teachings, I have applied to Southern Utah University, and the application, they sent me a mail, I think 3 or 4 days ago, that congratulations for your admission at the Southern Utah University. But so they asked me to fill. They asked me to go and pay service fee, something called service fee, and then also what do you call questionnaire, something questionnaire. I have to go and fill those a form questionnaire. Something I've forgotten that, but I filled that form, and I tried to reach you, Mr. Fred. I have sent you mail. I have sent you messages on Facebook. I traveled to come to Turkey to go and to continue my education, but in Turkey here they don't speak English. They don't speak English, so it's making it difficult, and they have changed their rules and everything. That is not favoring the international students.
No, let's not talk about challenges. Let's talk about like how we will be able to address your situation. So you've made your point clear. The other extras you add, and you may not know them. So Abigail, you want to go ahead and answer?
So how to pay your service fee? Is that your main question?
Now, my problem is, this is my first time, and it's through Fred effect that I got to apply the school, and I'm new to it, and I'm so confused.
Okay, so calm down. Okay, so calm down. So now you have a platform. The Fred Effect platform is very good, and it is helping us. So at every stage of the process, we have videos there, okay, at every stage. So if it is about searching schools, Fred has videos on how to search school. I also have videos on how to search school. If it is about application, I have Fred has a lot of videos on how to apply to school ABC. So if you spend some time on Fred's website, you'll be able to apply to schools. And when it comes to paying application and paying service fee and things, there are a lot of videos on how to pay service fee. I even have one currently, so you can check that one out. So the process is: 1, you find the school; 2, you email graduate coordinators or those in charge of the program, and then you build a rapport, ask them all the questions you want to know, like how do I apply to this school? How do I get full fund? How do I get scholarship? Application fee waiver. You ask them all those questions, they'll listen to you and they'll be able to answer you. And once you get admission with scholarship and everything, you pay your service fee. So process, when you go to Fred's website, YouTube channel or my channel, there are videos there on how to pay service fee. It is there. So this is a step by step, and Fred responds to a lot of people, okay? So he will definitely get back to you, okay? I hope that answers your question, and you're okay now. You are muted.
For the Madam Abigail, for the waiving part, I searched for the school, and when I searched for the school, they told me that they have waived application fee. So I applied to that. That day that I saw it, I applied. You understand? So for that aspect, I don't have any problem. But the next step,
the next step is to request for your I-20. After requesting for your I-20, you pay your service fee, and then you start your visa process. If you have any other questions, you can send us message and we would attend to you. And we have a lot of videos on after school, after admission, what next. We have a lot of videos on that. So please, you can check that one out, and don't be dismayed. Don't be stressed up. Calm down, and then you will be fine. Okay.
I would like to get either your email or Mr. Fred's email so that I can send you mail. Even if I'm going to pay for a service, I'll be very happy to pay, because I'm so much confused. I don't look. Since I think 4 or 5 days.
So we keep saying that stop repeating that you're confused. That's why we are here to clarify so that you wouldn't be confused. So right now you said that you've gotten admission to Southern Utah State University. Is that the case?
Yes.
Okay, and then have you gotten an I-20 yet?
Well, they have sent me a message on my mail that I should fill some how do you call it? I'm going to fill some forms, but
No, take your time. Zaid, have you gotten an I-20 yet? No. Or yes?
No.
Okay, so if you've gotten admission, now what happens is that the admission letter that they give you indicates clearly the steps you are supposed to follow. Now, if it came with a scholarship and then you don't need a bank statement, then it means that they are going to send your I-20 to you. Now, if it came with a partial scholarship, you may need to fill out what we call the financial affidavit or financial support form, attach a financial document to it. You send it to the school, they will issue the form that we call the form I-20, right? So take your time, read the admission letter. There are instructions on exactly what the school wants you to do. And of course, if you were already in touch with the director of the program or the international office, normally once you have any questions about the next step, you email them, you can schedule an appointment with them, and they are going to help you. That is their job. They have an office where those people are responsible for that. And of course, it's definitely somebody who sent you the email informing you about your admission notice. You should even email them back accepting the admission, the admission offer, and also if you have any questions, you can definitely ask them. So there's nothing like a confusion if you take your time to go through the email that you received from them. And obviously, you can get in touch with me. There is a way you can schedule a one-on-one conversation. I'm live on Instagram as well. If you send me a message, I'll be happy to respond to that. All right, we'll move on to Kofi Sami. Kofi, how are you doing? Please unmute your microphone and go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, Fred and Abby. I want to make some small inquiries. I've not applied yet. I want to apply. I have a BSc in computer science, but my GPA is 2.3. I completed school about from 2015. That was when I completed my school, and I have some certifications. I've written some examinations in computer science that is on service, and I have certification in that effect. And then I also have CCNA, that is networking. That's also internationally recognized. That one also have that certificate as well. And I've worked for a while. So I just wanted to know that if I can apply. The reason the GPA was like that was that my school that I attended here, the grading system was very high. Unless you get like 90 before you get an A, as compared to the rest of the universities here. I think that's what made the GPA the way it is. So I was just making that inquiries and see if I have a chance that if I apply, it can go through.
Okay, so Kofi Sami, the application is a holistic package. So the GPA is not the only thing they look at to give you admission or funding. Okay, it's a holistic package. So if you're able to write a good statement of purpose and get strong recommendation, in addition to all the short courses and certifications that you have, you will be very competitive.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay. So
Kofi, thank you for joining us. Let's bring other people on. Let's see. But how many minutes do you have to go? Whenever you're time, because there are a lot of people are backstage that want to talk. I don't know how long you can go on, but a lot of people would want to get in touch. How long can you go on?
Let me see my battery life.
Okay.
Okay, so I can do some 30 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So let's see. Abdullah Muhammad. Salam alaikum.
Alaikum salam. Good evening to you.
Good evening, sir. Please go ahead.
All right. Please, it's just an advice I need in regards to these school issues. I completed SHS last year, and Yeah, I'm thinking of furthering up the education in the USA. Yeah, but then I'm confused right now of the course I have to target. First of all, where I'm looking at is computer science or civil engineering. But then I studied visual arts. I don't know if I'll have chance in that field. Yeah, so that is my first question. And then secondly, as an SHS graduate, do I stand a chance of getting full funding or full scholarship when I apply to these universities in United States?
Okay, so Abdullah, one thing we want to get rid of is confusion. That's why we are here to help clarify things. Okay,
All right, sure.
so
Okay,
please don't be confused about anything. There is a program run by Fred on people with SHS certificates, how they could apply to schools and stuff. So you can get in touch with Fred. He will have, like, his team will have one-on-one with you and go through the application process with you. Okay.
So which year did you graduate, Abdullah?
Last year.
So firstly, I graduated in 2015, but the result was not good. So I
Okay.
last year, and then I had a better result now.
Which is absolutely fine. And what did you study?
I studied visual arts, please.
Okay, great. So my team has a program going on where we take people with high school and diploma qualification want to pursue a bachelor's degree. We take your document and then we help you with the application. So you can get in touch with us. But of course, if you check out on my, it would require payment to be able to schedule that appointment, but you don't necessarily have to, because I post most of the videos that universities with no application fee and then they guarantee funding. If you go through any of those videos, I explain the documents you need and how you can apply on your own, even with your phone. So it's when maybe you're super busy or you think you wouldn't be able to do that, you get in touch with my team. But if you think that you have the time and then you don't have the resources to also schedule a one-on-one meeting, then I would highly encourage you that check any of the videos. Check Abigail's channel. She has videos on that as well. And she goes through the website of the university one step at a time for you to know how you can apply on your own, when you have your documents together. So Abdullah, please, any of these options should work for you, sir. All right, let's talk to Hamat. Hamat, which country are you joining us from? Your microphone is muted, sir. Which country are you joining us from?
I'm joining from the Gambia.
Gambia. Oh, okay. Okay. Which part of Gambia?
West Coast region.
I see. All right, talk to Abigail.
Okay, Abigail, I have an upcoming visa interview. That is next month, 7th. But I was denied a visa twice, and I am going for my third attempt now. So I want an advice from you guys, like how should I prepare? What should I do in order to overcome this the previous visa denials?
Okay, so the first thing I will say is find a way of joining Fred's mock interview 4 a.m. every day, and then practice with the team. They are very good. Now, coming to your denial, what was the reason why you were denied? Do you have an idea?
With reference to the letter they gave me, they says that I was denied because I was unable to demonstrate my ties to my home country.
Okay, so what new thing do you plan to use to overcome that? Because that's what you need to overcome.
Yeah, the new things that I plan to overcome is since my denial, I have done extra preparation and I have gathered more supporting documentation to address this concern. My current application include comprehensive and verifiable supporting documents to prove my strong ties back home.
What are you using as your strong ties, if you are comfortable sharing?
Yeah, I have been granted a 2-year study leave with salary from my current employer.
Okay.
So I will take along this letter, and I've also gathered a full declaration of my family members because all of them are staying in my home country. None of them is in the US. So I am going with these documents to the embassy.
Okay, so it seems something has changed here, but what our advice is, if they've not asked you any document, don't give them any document. Okay. So
Okay.
you wait for a document to be asked before you give out documents. And then when you are talking about your future plans, talking about your after school, what you're going to do, your career and everything, you should be able to put in your ties. You should be able to tie everything to your country, like make a strong tie to your country.
Okay.
And be
Okay.
confident and be calm and collected. And one thing I'll ask is, please read about the visa you're applying for, and then be confident of the knowledge you are going to have. So after putting everything together, your ties, when they ask you what you are going to do after schools, you should be able to tie in what you have, like the plans you have. You should be confident in articulating that, and you shouldn't be cooking answers for them. You should try and be genuine with your answers you're going to give, and you should talk with confidence, and you should also, how do we put it, you should also be ready to answer any questions about your future plans, and make sure you are tying it to your country.
Thank you very much for joining us. Let's talk to Isaka. Inusa, salam alaikum. Inusa, can you please unmute your microphone, sir? Hi, Inusa, salam alaikum. Oh man, we can't hear Inusa. Ramo, please go ahead. Unmute your microphone and go ahead, sir.
Good evening.
Yeah, can you speak up a little bit? Can you speak up a little bit?
Good evening, Mr. Fred.
Yeah, I think this is better.
Can you hear me now?
This is better.
Thank you. I want to really appreciate your effort that you've been doing, and I really appreciate it because a lot of information you're giving us regarding this show. Actually, last year I took some speech. I was not giving the admission. And then from your previous video I watched, I was considering to apply for the transfer. My question is this: for me to apply for a transfer, is there an age tied to it, as in the age limit?
No, there's not.
Not. It's something like when I'm doing the master program, right?
Yeah, there's no age limit.
Same thing with master program.
Yeah, there's no age limit.
Thank you very much.
All right, Monica, please unmute your microphone and go ahead.
Yes, hi. Good evening, Fred and Abigail. My name is Mamika. Please, my question is, I was denied visa last year. Obviously, I wasn't having funding, but this year, and the course I went to the embassy with was social work. Now, this year, I've gotten admission in another school. The cost of attendance is 44,000, and then I have a GA that covers my tuition and then stipend. So that covers about 30,000 of the cost of attendance, leaving deficit of 14,000. I have personal funding of 7,000, and so my brother is the one covering the other 7,000 for me. I want to be sure if I stand a chance, considering the fact that I am changing course from social work to communication and advocacy. I already have bachelor's degree in communication, and so this time the program I'm having is also communication and advocacy. Will the embassy have an issue with me changing from social work to communication and advocacy?
Okay, so Mami Equia, since the program, your current program is related to your background, like what you've done already, I think you have a strong case, and now you have funding. So there are two things you can use. What has changed? You have a program which is really related to what you studied, and even when they asked about the social science, the social work, is there a link with the social work and the communication? If there is a link, you can link it up. But if they've not asked you, please don't give them that information. So you have a strong case, one, you have a new school, and you have funding. Most importantly, you have funding. So
Okay.
don't be worried, be calm and collected, and go there bold and strong. If they ask you questions, you give them answers, and make sure the answers you are giving is not shooting you in your foot.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Abby. I do appreciate it.
All right. So I like the way you go about it. Be calm and collected. Be positive. I love that. All right. Let's talk to Augustus. Augustus, please unmute your microphone and go ahead.
Good evening, Fred and Abigail.
Good evening. We can hear you.
I just want to make an inquiry. I have a first degree in educational psychology.
Augustus, I'm sorry. There is a bit of, I don't know if the noise is coming from your end.
Oh, I'm alone in the room.
Okay. Let's see. So who is the noise coming from? Okay, go ahead.
I have a degree in educational psychology,
Mm-hmm.
majoring in social studies. I just want to inquire if there are some universities for me to either do the master's in educational psychology or switch to LLB.
All right. So you said your background is in what? Educational psychology, and that's a bachelor's degree?
Yeah, majoring in social studies.
Okay. Oh, so social studies education, is that the case?
Yes.
All right. So there are a lot of universities you can target, but with your background, there are a lot of other programs, related programs. Abigail mentioned earlier that you don't necessarily have to limit yourself to the program you studied. So it's possible for law. The only thing is that you need to talk to the director of the program of which university you want to apply to, share a copy of your transcript and resume with them, and then ask if you can go ahead and apply, especially if you want to switch to the law. But with education, there are a lot of other related programs. So there's school counseling, educational psychology, educational administration. There's a lot of, and recently I did a post on Facebook mentioning some of the related programs you can study if you have a background in education. So for education, is very broad. There's a lot of them.
Okay.
All right.
And please, can you mention your email address again so that maybe we can contact you hereafter?
I can type that. Abigail, if you could mention that again.
Okay, studyabroaddiaries@gmail.com. Yeah.
Okay, is it written together?
Let me get I can leave it. I'm coming 1 minute. I'll type it in the comment section. I'll join the chat and then type it, and you would look at it.
That makes it easier. So if you're just tuning in, you're welcome. You're not late. This session will still be live on the platform, so you can watch it anytime you want. And you can also type your questions in the chat. We'll be attending to them. Remember, you can use a link to join us live, just like other people are. When you join us, put your video on and make your questions snappy, so we can get going. Kenneth, please unmute your microphone and go ahead, sir.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. My name is Kenneth from Canada. I'm currently in Canada. Can you hear me, please?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. So currently I'm in Canada, but I want to put in an application to the US. I want to move to the US. I have HND in electrical engineering, and I've worked over in my country, back in Nigeria. I worked so much. I have a lot of experience in not really engineering, but in e-commerce. Right now, I want to go into engineering, but want to switch to IT. My HND, my CGPA is around 3.4. It's high. So I want to switch to IT. So the challenge I've had is mainly if I tend to do some of these applications, I don't get the right, like I get stuck along the way. Probably I'm not doing the right process. So I want to, my major question is, what's the right channel to push on this application and get scholarship? Or in a refined way, can I get with somebody with HND in electrical engineering, can I get scholarships in some universities? What are my chances? That's just my major question.
Oh, okay. So Kenneth,
Yeah.
Fred talked about HND earlier. So it's either one, you top up to get a full bachelor's degree and apply for your master's or what you want, or you would do transcript evaluation. Okay. And looking at how you want to move from one field to the other, I would like you, if I were in your shoes, I would sit down and see how it will tie together, and I'll have a good statement of purpose to tie everything together. After tying everything together and giving reason why I'm moving from this field to this field and getting a sound statement of purpose, I'll reach out to the graduate coordinator.
Okay.
Reach out to the graduate coordinator, build rapport, and send my document to them to look at it and give me the advice I need, or set up a meeting with them and talk with them to hear what they will say, because they are the people giving the funding.
Okay.
So these are the options for you.
All right. Thank you, Abigail.
Sure, you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, so we move on to Oduro Piusfield. Did I get your name right? Oduro, please go on. Oduro, go ahead. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead,
Can
sir.
you hear me?
Yeah, this is better.
Okay, I want to find out if it is advice. I have master's in geoinformation science.
Okay.
And I've been given admission at Florida International University to study MS Higher Education Administration.
Okay.
Now, looking at these two master's programs, is it advisable to state on my DS that I have master's? You know, there's a column you are supposed to fill your educational background. Is it advisable? Then also in visa session, how do I go about answering the question, why another master's program?
This is really tough, but you want to be as transparent as possible. Yeah, you want to be as transparent as possible. And how do the two masters link together? Or what happened for you to change? Like, if you're able to link how the two masters go hand in hand, or able to connect it to your future career or some major thing of importance in your life, you would be able to tell the visa officer why you are doing the two masters. Yeah. Fred, if you have something more to add, you could add.
So did you use your master's in your application?
Yeah, I put it on my DS.
No, I mean, did you use it when you're applying to the university?
Yes, please.
Yeah, then you cannot hide it. If you use it in your application, it means that your master's degree was considered as part of your application document. And just like myself, when I wanted to do a second master's, I used my first master's was very helpful. So it wouldn't be necessary to take it off your DS 160. And so, what was the first master's? What was the second one?
I said the first one is geoinformation science.
Mm-hmm. And now you're
master's in higher education administration. I'm a teacher. too.
These are different programs altogether, and so it really makes sense why you're a teacher. You want to now go and study a master's in higher education, but you have a previous experience in. So it's just a matter of linking them. Why did you go in for a second master's? Then you can talk about maybe a change of career pathway where now you're a teacher, and so you want to have more advanced knowledge in the educational field, which makes perfect sense. So you have a good profile, but there's nothing to worry about. Let's talk to Derek. Derek, please unmute your microphone and go ahead.
Hi, Mr. Fred and Abigail. Good evening. This is Derek from Ghana. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, sir.
Okay, so I have a problem with the CGI platform. I had 2 admissions. That's for University of Connecticut and Northeastern University. But the University of Connecticut admission came early. So when I bought how do I call it? The thing we used to book for the interview. Sorry, I forgot the name. I used the service ID for the University of Connecticut, but when I was filling the DS-160, I changed everything to Northeastern, but I'm yet to submit it. But I used the service ID for University of Connecticut when I was filling the CGI platform. So I wanted to know if there's a way to change it or it won't be a problem.
Yeah, there's a way to change it. You need to be consistent. You can't use 2 different information. So it's not only the service fee. When you're booking an appointment, you're being asked to type in the service ID number, the name of the school, as well as the zip code of the university. In this case, the new one you want to use actually is different. So you have to email the embassy or call them, let them know that this is the information. And you, of course, you have to, if you're emailing them, you upload or attach the copies of both I-20. So you have to tell them that this is the I-20 and the information you use to schedule the appointment. But however, due to this and that, you want to go to this institution instead. So you have to give them those details so that it will be consistent with the information you'll be putting in your DS-160. It's not a big deal. It will be done for you. All right.
I have a quick question for Derek. Derek, have you applied have you gone for your visa interview already?
Not yet. So that's in August 8th.
August 8th. So you can get you can transfer your service fee to the new school you want, and then you fill your new.
Sorry, I haven't paid the service fee too. I'm here to pay the service fee.
So you can pay your service fee with the new service ID you want, and then fill a new DS-160. And then when you go to the visa confirmation page or the website for visa interview booking, you can change your profile and print a new confirmation page.
Okay. Thank you very much. And Mr. Fred, can I have the group link to your group?
Yeah, so you just have to send me a private message on Instagram. Let me know that you have an appointment scheduled, and yes, I'll send you the link to join.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Mr. Emmanuel, kindly unmute your microphone and go ahead, sir.
All right, Fred. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yeah, please. I got admission at the University of Oklahoma, and I didn't get funding, so.
Oh man, it's frozen. The internet.
$1,000.
Mr. Emmanuel, you let my Nigerian friends come and laugh at me that our network is bad. Our network is not that bad too. You're freezing. So we heard some point of it, but we didn't hear all of them. If you could restart.
Yeah, I was saying that I gained admission at the University of Oklahoma. I didn't get funding, so I tried Empower, and Empower has given me $50,000.
Okay.
My fees is $40,090. Now I want to ask if I can use only the support letter from Empower to apply for the I-20.
Yeah, sure. Obviously, you can do that.
Oh, okay. Then the second question is that during visa interview, if you are asked, how do you pay for your loan? Please, can you help me with the best option in terms of answering that question?
There's nothing like a best option. There are multiple ways of responding to that. So what happens is that this is how Empower works. Empower works such a way that once you start your classes, you will be paying the interest on the loan. So you have to come up, and through the application process, there were those questions that you completed before it was approved. So the people who are supposed to pay for the interest on the loan. So normally, if you have a personal statement or the person who is going to pay for the loan, if you have their financial document, you add it to your documentation. And of course, there are a lot of people who have gotten their visas approved with Empower, and so it's super easier. Try and join some of those groups there are actually groups of WhatsApp groups of individuals who actually got their visas approved with only Empower, and so you can join such groups as well. I have a friend in Massachusetts. He was in Ghana recently. He came back to Worcester, so he even got his visa approved with Empower. So the most important thing is getting to explain how you'll be able to pay the interest on the loan when the visa is approved or when you start classes.
Okay.
All right. So Abigail, there are a lot of people that want to talk to you.
Unfortunately, a lot of people.
Yeah, we've done like 2 hours already. So I'll take your last words and then we would end it today. Of course, this platform is yours. Anytime, any day you want to pass by, we are here for you. And remember that Abigail has a YouTube channel. It's called the Study Abroad Diaries. So please, if you've not subscribed, kindly go search for the Study Abroad Diaries. A lot of insightful content over there. You can get in touch with Abigail via email or Instagram, X, or so Twitter, Instagram, and then she's also on TikTok as well. So please subscribe to the Study Abroad Diaries. So Abigail, it's been an insightful section. I've enjoyed the conversation. You are such an intelligent woman. I appreciate you and the fact that the Fred Effect had the opportunity to be part of your success story too. So please, your final words, and then we finalize it.
Yeah, I'd like to say thank you very much to Mr. Fred for being a support system and then giving me this opportunity. And I would say, please don't give up. No matter how your case is, there is a way around it. Please don't give up. And if your visa is denied, that is not the end of the world. It means go back, prepare, and come back strong. Okay. And if you are confused, calm down, read, and find information. This will help you clear your mind and help you make a good decision. In all, you are more than this. You are worth more than this. So seeking to improve yourself is very good. But when things are going south, don't be too hard on yourself. Get the right information, start moving again. Until your dream comes true, we are not giving up here. If you need any assistance, we have our YouTube videos around. We have a lot of information around. Fresh website, YouTube channel is there. My YouTube channel is there. There are a lot of stuff around. So please don't think you are in this alone. You are not alone. We are here to support you. If you have any question, please get in touch. And yeah, Fred.
Thank you so much. It's been an insightful section. Thank you, Abigail. I've really enjoyed this one. This is the Study Abroad podcast with me, the Fred Effect. We do this and every weekend. So there are a lot of other sessions coming up. If you go to the Fred Effect YouTube channel, we have a lot of them scheduled. So next week we'll be talking about Canada. So I'll be speaking with an expert who will be walking us through the various pathways to relocate to Canada. And then my brother will also be coming up, Obed, and then Evergas, and then Aaron. So there and of course I'll be talking to an admissions officer from one of the institutions in the US, and he will be giving us ways you can apply to that university because he's an insider person. So this is the Study Abroad content platform you would want to stick with. So thank you for being part and then subscribing. We appreciate the fact that you share the content that we create on this platform as well, and it's going to benefit all of us. So recently, what we are doing is that most of the earnings we get from the various social media platforms, we give it back to other people who need help when they are going through the study abroad process. So recently we collaborated with Wendy. Wendy is on Facebook, and then we were able to pay for a flight ticket for people worth $3,000 for them to pursue their study abroad journey here in the US. And so if you're liking a video, or if you're subscribing, if you hit the share button, this is your way of also contributing to other people's success journey. Who knows, a family member of yours may be a beneficiary, a friend of yours, a loved one of yours may also be a beneficiary. The platform is not only for the Fred Effect, it's a whole family. And so we encourage everybody to be part of it so that we can all be helping ourselves. So please, if you've not, click on the subscribe button, click on the share button, click on the like button. That is a way you can also support the work we do. So over the years, the Fred Effect has impacted a lot of lives, assisted thousands of people in diverse ways through the process. Some people, we start from scratch with them. Others meet us halfway. Others need financial help, and we go all out to support as many people as we can. So please click on the like button, and I really appreciate that if you do that. Share so that other people can benefit from the ideas and information we share here. So this is how to get in touch with me. If you have any questions, if you need assistance to go through the process, I am on Instagram. My Instagram handle is almost 15,000 followers. It is verified, and you send me a private message on Instagram. So if you want to start the process, if you don't know how to even go about it, it's absolutely fine. There is always somewhere you can start from, and I'll be happy to guide you through. So at the moment, my team is the only team that is helping individuals with high school and diploma who want to pursue a bachelor's degree. We take your document and assist you apply to the universities for free. So this is how you're going to do it. You use the link I'm sharing on the screen to schedule a private one-on-one conversation. We'll go through your document. We'll look at what possible programs and universities that will give you the maximum scholarship. We'll take your document. We handle the application for you. Also, if you want to pursue a master's degree, a PhD, maybe you need clarifications on something, this is the best way to schedule a one-on-one meeting with a Fred Effect team. We'll be happy to assist you. So based on personal experience and the opportunity to assist a lot of people go through the process, we have what it takes to also guide you so that you can also be successful. So this year already, our WhatsApp group, which is used for the mock interview, has over thousands of people, and close to 200 people have gotten their visas approved, and a lot of people are yet to go for their visa interview. So this is our best way of contributing to people's success journey as well. You can do it, and it's free. Once you have an interview scheduled, send me a private message on Instagram, and then let me know you have an interview scheduled. We'll bring you on the platform, and we'll meet every single day. It's a free platform. We don't charge anything, and we also contribute to your success journey as well. So the Fred Effect team is also we have a collaboration with Argo Visa. So Argo Visa is a team of former visa officers, and then because of their expertise, being at the end, approving visas and all that, they have the expertise to guide you, especially if you've ever been denied before, or you need preparation to go through the process. It will be a privilege that you schedule a one-on-one conversation with the Argo Visa team for a former visa officer to review your document and also take you on a one-on-one mock session before you go for your actual visa interview. Later on, we'll be collaborating with BDV Solutions to also let you know other opportunities you can explore to get to the US as well. So as always, my name has been Fred. We know that it might probably not be easy, and of course, if it was easy, everybody would have done it, but it is possible. If Abigail was able to do it, you can do it. If Fred was able to do it, you can do it. If there's somebody making you believe that they were able to do it, but you cannot, then you don't have to engage in such conversations. It is possible, but it wouldn't be as easy as you might have assumed it. But certainly you can walk through. Don't be discouraged. If you've ever been denied a visa, if you've gone through the process, you've been refused admissions and all that, it is highly possible you can do it. Sit up, try again. Let's use another strategy. Let's try another way. Let's try another university. Maybe another program will help out. And before you realize, you know that you've been successful through the process. So I'll come your way next week with another insightful session. But for now, take care of yourself and know that if you remain positive, everything is going to be fine. My name is Fred. This has been the Fred Effect. I'll see you in another one.